Alright, I'm currently ill, so there's no face cam, but you get this instead, my new profile picture. Let me know if you like it. Anyway, today we'll be talking about a brand new Lone Troll update coming to global Arknights after Ines. Now, previously on CN Arknights, we actually got Stilteria Nevis rerun after Ines event pretty much, but this time round, apparently stuff's been moved around. That's what I've been told. So let's first talk about the actual characters that will be coming in this update. First of all, we're going to talk about the 3 6-star operator, Silence for Pragmatic, of course, Silence Alter. I just want to say now I'm generally not a big fan of actual alters in the game, but this I'm actually pretty happy with. She is a buffer slash apertura, and also she will deal arts damage and can also heal allies. Allies with less than 50% HP within her attack range will actually recover HP based on her attack every second, which will basically allow her to heal up operators, and this actually doubled for any Ryan's Lab operators, and also she will be able to provide shelter to allies who are also in her attack range, and this will increase depending on how little HP the actual allies have. Now, talk about her first skill. Her first skill is pretty basic, gives her additional attack. I want to talk about her second skill and third skill though. Her second skill does give her attack speed, but most importantly gives her a supporter drone, which actually can, once put down, give allies her actual talent 1, which is basically giving shelter to other allies, which will allow them to take less damage from physical damage and arts damage. And her third skill is probably the most interesting. Not only does it give her extra attack, but it also allows her to keep allies alive and prevent them from dying. This is only limited to 2 times per battle, but this does actually allow certain allies to not go below 1 HP. I personally think this is probably the most interesting skill and one that I'm going to be using a lot. I'm very curious to see how this works with the likes of Spectre or Surtur, characters who already have that prevent death mechanic. Only limited 2 times of course, but still regardless, I'm very excited about her. Now before we get to the next opera, I just want to very quickly say if you do enjoy this video, please do drop a like. We're almost at 5,000 subscribers. If you could reach it by the end of this year, I would appreciate it so much. But anyway, let's get back with the video. Alright, now you know what time it is. It's time to talk about the actual banner. I want to say it straight away because I know people are going to ask me this question. Even when I tell them this, Scar Diva Corrupting Heart, Null Alter, and Spectre the Unchained will be available on this banner. We'll have a lower rate. They will be available in the Sparking shop, which is the 300 shop. First of all, let's talk about Muelsyse. She is a 6-star for this banner that will be limited. This is a unit that you will not be able to get down the line apart from Sparking, so this is probably a unit you want to try and get this time round. First of all, I want to say her design is absolutely amazing. I love the design. So Muelsyse is actually a Vanguard tactician who could be deployed on ranged tiles. Basically, Muelsyse has these copies of herself, kind of like Naruto, and she can actually put them down. To put these copies down, first of all, they don't take any deployment limit, which is already a great thing. But basically, she puts down this bubble, and once you put an operator on top of that bubble, regardless of who it is, the bubble will actually take a certain percentage of the stats of that operator and put it onto that bubble. That bubble then will turn into several copies of Muelsyse. And like I said, they will inherit some of the power that the operator has. To give a basic description of what she does, her first skill can actually give DP, and it can also give her and her clones extra attack and extra attack speed. Now the second skill will also give a certain amount of DP. Muelyse and the clone will gain a certain percentage of attack. If the actual clone is actually a melee operator, so you put a melee operator in that bubble we talked about, it will recover a certain percentage of max HP every second and gain a certain percentage of shelter. Shelter, of course, being basically arts damage reduction and physical damage reduction, which basically means it will take less damage. And if the actual clone is a ranged replica, which is a ranged unit instead, the attacks will actually deal 2 hits and target random enemies within attack range. Now the third skill is actually pretty similar to the second skill, but the difference is when you put a melee operator in that bubble, it will pull enemies in the surrounding 8 tiles every 2 seconds and it will actually stun them. Now, if you put a ranged unit in that bubble, it will actually refresh all the clones and attacks will inflict bind for a couple seconds. So this is a very interesting skill. I think this one has a lot of use, and I think this is probably the one I'm going to use majority of the time, because especially with the bind on the range units, that's great, but also be able to stun with the melee replica, I feel like that's so nice. This just allows for a lot of creativity, and this is why I love Muelyse personally. Alright, let's now talk about the next 6-star. We have Holo Hayak. Holo Hayak is a very interesting unit. I honestly don't think she's an amazing unit in terms of actual gameplay personally. I've seen very contradicting opinions online. People say she's not a great unit. Some people say she's okay. Anyway, let's talk about her kit. She's a caster slash core caster. She looks absolutely amazing. I love the design. But I should talk about her talents. She can silence enemies. She can also inflict the weightlessness to enemies that have 80% or more HP within attack range. I kind of wish this was not really condition. Now, to actually talk about the skills, the first skill will attack an additional enemy and also deal arts damage. If there's only one target, it will actually levitate the target for 4 seconds. Probably the highest actual levitate time, but of course with this first skill, would you really want to use it over the other ones? Let's talk about the other skills. The second skill will attack 9 times and deal a set amount of damage to random enemies within attack range. Every attack has a percentage chance to levitate the enemy for 1 second. Of course, this actually goes up to 15% in Mastery 3. And I do kind of want to say that this is probably not going to be very consistent. Of course, it does attack 9 times, but 15% chance is very low. So majority of the time, you might maybe hit this off 1-2 times. Maybe even sometimes you might not hit it a single time. So it's something to kind of take into account with this skill. But now talking about her third skill, basically she will throw 3 tornadoes down the 3 columns in front of her. And the further they go, the more damage they do. These will go all the way down to 5 blocks. At 3 blocks, that is the maximum amount of damage increase that the actual tornadoes will get. Once one of these will hit an enemy, that specific tornado will basically not affect anyone around it. It will only hit that enemy. For example, if it starts levitating one enemy, an enemy that passes through that will not be affected by it. Personally, I wish the tornadoes maybe just carried on going and actually levitated that one enemy, but any enemy behind it would get affected. Maybe enemies who walk through would get affected as well. But I think that'd be really fun. And I feel like that would be something that will make Holo Hayak a much more exciting unit for me personally, but I will still be pulling for her because she just looks so cool, and I do like the animations for the third skill regardless. Alright, now talk about the 5-star. I'm going to make this quick because I know most of you probably don't really care that much about the 5-star. Basically, Mlynar is a heavy shooter that deals physical damage. Her main role is basically dealing physical damage to enemies, and the most interesting thing about her is her module. Her module actually allows her to ignore physical evasion if they are directly in front of her column. So if an enemy's in her column, right in front of the operator, she will actually ignore their physical evasion. So if you do have any enemies that can physically evade, this will be helpful. I think this is kind of niche in a sense, but you will find this pro to be helpful on certain stages. But I do want to say in terms of design, she has a very unique design. I don't know what it is, but it reminds me of a certain character from somewhere, and I don't know who it is, but it just looks super nice personally. Right, now talk about the interesting stuff. We have the actual pulls. First of all, we do get a free temple, which is fantastic. Also, you can get, I believe, up to 14 pulls. That's how many it generally is. But you'll be able to get free pull every single day if you log in. You use 1 pull, you will have to log in daily. You can't like add these up. These do not stack. You log in every day. You get your free pull and you pull on this banner. And I probably would recommend for most people to actually save all their pulls until all the free pulls are done, because you will get the most efficiency out of that. You could theoretically get all the units just in the free pulls alone, so being a bit more patient could help. Now there will also be a daily login event. This will give you some sanity, this will give you some random, it will just give you some materials along the way, but most importantly this will give you like an Orchid skin. Here's what it looks like. Honestly, I'm actually kind of a big fan of it. I feel like Orchid has deserved the skin for a while. Now the best part of this whole entire video, I'm gonna say this now: if you have Arknights saved up and you're planning to use it on pulls, do not use it on pulls. First of all, we have a live 2D Calcit skin. Amazing, looks so beautiful. Finally Calcit gets a skin. Hot take here, the E2 art on Calcit is just not that great in my opinion. I think she looks very cool, but this is just absolutely perfect. Has an entrance animation. This will cost you, I believe, 24 Arknights. And then we have the 21 Arknights costing skins. We have Spectre View Unchained, which has a live 2D skin. This looks so beautiful. I think the most beautiful skin we've ever gotten in Arknights. I will fight people over this. I think generally beautiful skin. I cannot believe this is in the game. This will cost you 21 Arknights. And then we also have Chen Alta skin, which is also live 2D. From what I've seen, she actually shoots out black ink or like blackish water. I think this is such a cool skin. I love the background to it. This will cost you 21 Arknights as well. I cannot wait for this to drop. I'm going to be getting every single one of these skins. Now talk about skins that are not live 2D, which will presumably cost like 18 Arknights from what I understand. We have an Ebenhole skin. This is actually a really pretty skin. I do like Ebenhole's skin because his art's honestly always so good. We also have a Lumen skin. Lumen will be coming in the next up Stultarian Nevis rerun, which is fantastic. And then we also have an Irene skin. I've heard some people actually like appreciate this artistically. I'm not a massive fan of this skin actually visually because I feel like it doesn't have that much to it, but if you do appreciate the skin, this skin will be dropping as well. And we also have a Roberta skin. This Roberta skin is kind of nice. It is a 4-star skin, so you can't expect too much, but I think it's generally pretty cute overall. We do also have skin reruns coming back as well. I'm going to most notably talk about these 3 because these 3 are just absolutely amazing. We have Radiant Knight Life 2D skin, Rosmontis Life 2D skin, might be my favorite skin in the whole entire game, I'm just going to be honest, and a W skin which will be also coming back, which I know a lot of people are hyped for as well. Each of these skins will cost 21, but Ws will cost 24 since it has that entrance animation. There are also other skins coming for Mountain, Eunectes, I Escape, Flint, Korea, Vigna, Blaze, Mudrock, Reed, and Tequila. So those are the skins that are coming. Be free to pause if you want to take a look at the actual skins themselves. Now here's some furniture to anyone who likes furniture. Personally, I'm not a massive fan of this, but here's the furniture anyway. And like in most of these actual events, we do also get a way of getting a random. This time around, we have this provisional mining permit. Basically, you log in every day and you can like select a certain mine or something like that, but basically you will get a random from this. This isn't something you can really manipulate. I believe you literally just get a certain amount of a random, so I don't want to go too deeply into it, but you want to log in and get that random. It will help you get pulls, of course. Now another thing as well which I found quite interesting is in the mail we're actually going to get free Savage as well, which if you are a fan of Savage or maybe you don't have her, we're going to get Savage as well, so that is something to be, I guess, happy about, I guess. I mean, personally, I'm not a massive fan of Savage, but, you know, I will take a free one. Now, there will also be a 5-star selector that will be dropping for everyone in the mail as well, alongside Savage. This is all the operators that will actually be on it. Personally, this is pretty nice because I actually am missing a couple 5-stars that I would personally like, especially Hung on my mail account. I actually don't have him. I'm very glad to see that he's going to be on in this. Now, talk about some of the packs that will be coming to the game, and also one of the things that I think will be interesting. First of all, we have the Arknight exchange being reset. So if you have ever bought Arknight, you would have actually seen you get double Arknight on first purchase of a specific pack. This time around, you actually get a reset. So if you buy Arknight, this will be actually basically doubled in value now. Now, I'm not actually going to go through specifically all the packs, but I do want to mention one of the packs that I think is best value. And if you ever buy a pack in this game, this is my personal opinion, the best value pack in the whole entire game. We have the 6-star selector pack. First of all, not only do you get a temple with this, but you also get a choice of one of these operators. Previously, this went all the way down to Horn. Now it goes all the way down to Stainless. Of course, some of the notable units on this are like Thorns, Surta, Mlynar, Posey, Golden Glow, Gnosis. Just so many units on here. Personally, I'm probably going to go with Mlynar, but with this many units, it's almost a tough option. I think this is so worth it because you get the guaranteed character, you know what you're spending your money on. There will also be a recruitment update with Suzerain, I Escape, and Click being added to recruitment. So if you're a recruitment enjoyer, that's great there. Now, there is also 3 lobby scenes that we're going to be getting for free. All 3 of these look very cool. I'm very glad to be getting more login scenes. So if you're a fan of actually switching up your background on your game, you can do that with these. But now, one of the last things I want to mention here is actually the new modules that will be coming. Of course, new operators are going to be getting modules. Some specific archetypes will be getting modules. Let's talk about this now. So, first of all, Holo Hayak and Mlynar will be getting modules. Be free to take a pause and read them yourself. I don't want to go through each of these modules, mainly because this video will be already too long. But Holo Hayak and Mlynar, as the 2 new units, will be getting modules. 2 units that will be getting the second modules, we have Calcit and W. Of course, additional options is always great. And there will also be other archetypes that will be getting modules in the likes of Aftershock/Flingers, which will be Graver Lightning Bearer, and also Rosmontis, who will be getting their first modules. And there will also be Debuffers/Hexers, who will be getting modules in the likes of Shemar, Ramonix, and also Gnosis. One more thing I also do want to mention to anyone who's curious, there will also be operator record/paradox simulations added for the following operators: Dorothy, Frostleaf, Glaucus, Paprika, and also Sessa. But anyway, I think that pretty much covers everything in this video. I do want to very quickly mention that if you do actually like this video and you enjoyed it, please do drop a like. It does help out a lot. If you could subscribe as well, we're almost at 5,000 subscribers. If we could reach it by the end of this year, I will be the happiest person alive. Thank you for watching this video. I will see you next one, and most importantly, adios.